this is Claudia here, Metaldays 2018 with an Austrian band, Harakiri For The Sky. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting us for the interview.
Well, you've just been playing on the Metaldays, like a festival stage in the wood. And what was the atmosphere for you playing?
Yeah, great.
Yeah?
I think it is the best stage to play. When I see the main stage, which is just concrete and stuff, the wood stage, or how you call it, is way better, yeah.
At least you get some shade in the heat, so that's a good...
Shade in the heat, that's true, yeah. I expect more gigs to come up, so what are your plans ahead?
Yeah, we play Summer Breeze, Partisan and Brutal Assault the next weeks.
Mm-hmm. And then a tour in China in September and Eindhoven Metal Meeting in December. And in St. Pölten in Austria in November as well. Mm-hmm. I think that's it for this year.
Mm-hmm. And you have an album out. Arson came out in February.
Sure.
And what was the writing process like? Like, did you take also old material, or did you write everything new for this album?
Of course, we wrote everything new. I write the music, I give it to Jimbo, the pre-production. He writes the lyrics. And then we sit together, discuss everything, and mount it together, and then we go to the studio and record it. So that's like how we always have done it, and it's like the most comfortable way for us to do it.
Mm-hmm. And so, when writing, is there a special theme behind the ideas you get, or is it more musically triggered?
I can only speak for the music, you know. You have to be in the right mood. Sometimes you have what people call writer's block. You cannot write anything for 2 months, and then you just sit down. Maybe you come home at 5 a.m., you're drunk, and you just got some ideas in your head. You just need to write it down, and then, you get a streak, and it works. You can write 1 or 2 songs in a row. Really depends on the mood always, and the circumstances, and I guess, I don't know, it's the same with the lyrics, I guess.
So when it comes to the lyrics, what is most important to you when writing?
It's mostly spontaneous. Like he said, sometimes I sit at home and write all night long, and sometimes I'm just sitting in the train and make some write single sentences down and work it out later and stuff. It's sometimes this way and sometimes that way. I can't say I always work like this.
Mm-hmm. Whatever comes to your mind, you just jot it down.
I write it down on the cell phone or write it down with the pen when I have some ideas, and then I work it out when I have the muse or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you get the music that is already finished, or you get parts of the music?
Not always. Sometimes I have parts of the lyrics, and not even heard the song, and then I hear the song and say, oh, okay, this part I wrote down half a year earlier would fit, and I make one finished text of all it.
Yeah, that's the process why we work together. Then I read the lyrics, he listens to the music, and we see which would fit to what is the right mood of the song that fits the lyrics, because it's for both of us, it's very personal, and that's something where we always sit together and talk about it, and in the end we always agree about that, so there has never been a problem so far.
Cool. So concerning the gear, is gear important to you at all? Or do you say, well, it's just another guitar and that will fit? Or...
Well, if the guitar ain't shit, then it's...
No, the guitar sounds the same. It's
right.
I guess we're both not gear nerds, but of course we like good sounding equipment, but we don't need to spend thousands and thousands of euros for super expensive shit, because in the end it's what you do with the instrument that makes it important. But of course you cannot spend 200 euros and expect to have high-end equipment that sounds amazing. But also there's always a right balance.
Right.
And if you're like a shit band that makes shit music, or you're a shit musician, then the most expensive gear won't help you. But if you're a good musician, you can maybe also do something with less expensive gear. So.
And you get picky with the years. You want your band to sound more and more professional and more, sound better and better, because you hear more things with the years. And yeah, that's the thing. Cheap guitars are okay for the beginning, but when you play in a band for 5-6 years, then you want a good sounding guitar. That's
reliable equipment that doesn't stop working during a show.
Oh, yeah, it shouldn't.
And you don't want your band to sound way different on the album than it sounds live. So you have to have good equipment, not the cheapest one.
At least adapt like to the stuff that you use in the studio, so you get a similar sound live.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah, and some people say that a band is like a family. Some people say, we have to be on tour together, so when the tour is over, we try to be separated and have our private time and not see each other so much. Like, what do you think about this?
Well, of course, if you spend a lot of time together, you also need some time off. It's like in a relationship, if you stick together like every day and every second of the day, at some point you will maybe annoy each other. So it's always good to have a little break in between. But in the end, what matters is that you can get along even in like sticky situations, like being in a van for 10 hours without break, then sleeping a little, and then being in the van again for 10 hours, and just for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So then, it shows the worst in a human being, and if you survive that, then I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, then
But of course, it's tough sometimes, and touring is fucking exhausting, especially if you don't have the money to go with a nightliner all the time and get your fair share of sleep. And of course, it can get too much sometimes, but sometimes you really need a break from all that. But that's not a personal thing, that's just... Every human being needs that, some time off, and that's something where it really comes back again, that we can talk to each other, and we have to accept when someone needs a break, so that this works out then. So.
I asked myself, and I'm asking you because I don't have the answer. What is it that makes somebody become an artist, or what defines an artist? Are you an artist?
I guess everyone who tries to express his feelings in some kind of way, maybe by painting, writing lyrics, writing music, or poems, or whatever. It's self-expression is what I define as art, and it should be fulfilling for yourself, no matter what other people think about it. So I think there is like no real description for art. I mean, some people like to, I don't know, shit on a canvas and then smear around, and the people define it as art, and others make music, and that's a beautiful thing about it. It's very subjective, and some people like it, others don't. Some can identify themselves with it, and others don't. So I guess there is like no real objective description for it, but it doesn't have to be.
What do you think about the term art or artist?
Yeah, I mean, art is freedom, and that's everything I can say about it. It's everyone has his own views. What is art? To me, a good painter or a good musician makes better art than some of these guys that think, we have this in Austria, that think when you drive over a pig with a tank, that it's art, like Nietzsche is doing in Austria. It's fucking shit. It's not art at all. But yeah, in the first way, art should be freedom, but everybody should have his individual feelings and views about it.
So you also think about the quality or the way to get to the art piece? Like
yeah, sure.
the production?
I think that art has to have quality. Otherwise, it's just, like I said, driving over a pig with a tank. It's just shit or whatever. And sure, there is a small border between. Let's take a look on maybe Lars von Trier movies or something. For some guys, they are just heavy, whatever stuff. With no message or whatever, and yeah, to me they have message, and they also have this deep, I don't know the English word for, like when you see the Antichrist or something, it's for sure very heavy stuff, but the message behind is not just brutal or vulgar. Is this is an English
vulgar.
word?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and this is the thing about art. It can't just be black or white.
Right.
It's somehow subjective, and but it has to wake you up in its own way. Right. How should I say? Yeah, like a picture,
right?
A movie, or a song.
Make you think.
There is a story behind. It should make you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
So thank you very much for the interview.
Thanks.
And enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thanks.
Thank you.